So if you're trying to decide between Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Disney's Christmas Party, I've done both a lot. And I honestly couldn't choose between them this year, to the point where I literally booked both. So we've been taking Lucia to the Halloween Christmas Party, the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, since she was 1 year old. Last year we tried the Christmas version of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas and Jollywood, and I was not expecting to love it as much as I did. So in this video, I'm breaking down the pros, cons, what you actually get at each party, and which one you should book this year. All right, let's get into it. If you've been following along, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party ticket sales are going to be on sale this coming week if you're staying on property. Parties usually run from the beginning, middle of August and go until Halloween. The cost for this is kind of like surge pricing depending on which day. Obviously, the closer you get to Halloween, that's when the ticket prices start to increase. Also, I believe the weekends are usually also more expensive. So this year, prices range anywhere from $119 to $229. Obviously, the $229 is definitely going to be on Halloween, and you're definitely, if you're thinking about doing like Halloween or getting closer in October, you're going to want to make sure that you jump on it because Halloween does sell out every year. So at this party, you're going to have trick-or-treating, and yes, adults can even trick-or-treat. This is not just for kids. There's no judgment. They give every person a Halloween bag. All right, so this is the bag that we have gotten in past. You could see how tiny it is. So usually they're give you like a pretty generous like small scoop at all the stations, and you could choose to trick-or-treat the whole night. It doesn't matter, you can go through the station multiple times. No one is judging you if you choose to do your party like that. But yeah, this is the trick-or-treating bag that you get. So in years past, toward the end of the night, they have kind of getting rid of like the rest of their candy. So what we have is my mom made all of the grandkids. The first year Lucia was born, she made everybody the little pillowcases. So we usually keep this at the bottom of the stroller, and you could tell it has like Mickey and Minnie in it. And we usually dump all of our candy in, so that way me and Lucia could both do it, and like especially if you have like a big group, you could just keep everyone's candy together and keep them in one spot in the bottom of the stroller. So that is something we have done in years past that worked out for our family. Also, this is obviously one of the perks of going to this party is that you're gonna get great ride times because they're only allowing a certain amount of people in the park. So generally wait times are either walk-ons or like about 30 minutes. Usually for like rides like Mine Train, that one is usually the longest, but again, toward the end of the night, you're going to be able to keep going on and going on multiple rides. So yeah, definitely you don't have to worry about lightning lanes, and you could just have a great night and try to balance your rides and trick-or-treating. And of course, there are special Halloween photographs that you're going to want to take advantage of also. And yes, everyone, for costumes, even the adults can dress up. You're going to see people just wearing like Halloween orangey colors or like tank tops or t-shirts from the last year's party or whatever. So generally it's a free-for-all. You're not going to feel out of place. You can't go wrong with what you're going to wear at the Halloween party. In the past, we've done Tinkerbell. My husband was Peter Pan for Lucia's first trip there when she was 1 year old. So there's also Halloween Parade that they only show during this party. This is exclusive. They will not do this during a regular day at Magic Kingdom. So it's special for the party. Also, there's special fireworks that are not going to be seen at Magic Kingdom during the year because they have their Happily Ever After fireworks. So during the party, you're going to have strictly the Halloween fireworks, and the whole light show that goes onto the castle, everything is part of that. They also have special shows like the Sanderson sisters. There's rare characters. This is going to be a great time where you can meet characters that you don't see all the time. Like one big one is usually you could see the Seven Dwarves. You could see Jack and Sally, things going on in like Haunted Mansion. They have special spooky pictures throughout the park. So basically it's just a really fun event, a fun time. Christmas. Okay, so Christmas is my favorite holiday regardless if it's Disney or not. This is my favorite holiday throughout the year. I love Christmas. So it's surprising to me that I did not take advantage of the Christmas party up until last year. Disney offers 2 Christmas parties. I really feel like they should get like a second Halloween option, by the way, side note. One is Mickey's Very Merry Christmas, which is similar to the Halloween version of Mickey's Not So Scary. And they also have Jollywood Nights, which is at Hollywood Studios. By the way, if you want to know, I will link down below all of our videos from years past. So if I'm trying to give you a quick overview, but if you kind of want a more further video to see what we did with our daughter since she was a baby up until now, I'll go ahead and link those videos below. So after this video, you could go and check out how we decided to arrange our time. Right now, they have not released the pricing or the dates yet for Christmas. Last year's dates ran from the beginning mid of November until Christmas. All right, so let's start with Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Pricing for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas is $169 to $229. Again, the earlier you go, the cheaper the tickets. The closer you get to Christmas, of course, it's going to be more money. So instead of getting trick or treat or candies, now they have hot chocolate. I believe they have like a cider, eggnog. They have cookies throughout the park. Now, because it was our first time last year, it was a little chaotic and we didn't know what to expect. So I feel like this year we're going to be a little bit on our game. I had a little trouble finding like where the cookie stations were, so I think I need to do a little bit of research this year, but they do have different kinds of cookies throughout the park. Again, you could have multiple. One idea that I saw online last year was to get like the cookie tins that you give away, because everything comes sealed. They aren't just like regular cookies. Everything is sealed and packaged, so because you don't want your cookies to break, if you would like to bring them home, you could bring the little dollar store cookie tins. So they have that. They have snow on Main Street, which is so cool. It starts snowing, and you know, in Florida it never snows, so this is great opportunity. If you've ever seen the Frozen show over at Hollywood Studios, where they do like the snow in the show, it's similar to that. And then of course they have the Christmas parade, which Santa comes at the end, and the holiday fireworks. Now I have to say it's crazy because last year we actually ended up missing the parade to see Jack and Sally. So it was crazy because I saw that Jack and Sally was only 5 minutes, which you never see, and so I had to go over there. So we ended up missing part of the parade, but it's like you never see Jack and Sally with that low of a wait time, so that's why we had to take advantage when we could. Now for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas, we again wore just like Christmassy colors. You're gonna see people in like Disney-esque red and green. Now let's talk about Jollywood Nights. This is a party that has gotten a bad rap that is more for adults, but I'm going to disagree because honestly, my daughter and I had such a blast, and there were a lot of adults. This is a little bit more swanky dress party. And then for Jollywood, people generally tend to dress up a little bit more. We had my daughter in like a evergreen Christmas, like a Christmas dress that she would wear for church. I wore like a little bit of a crushed velvet, like strapless dress. I put a sweater on top because it did get chilly at night. So at Jollywood Nights, again, you're gonna have special entertainment. There was like an ice show. There were definitely shorter wait times with all these. Oh, the pricing for Jollywood was last year was $159 to $199, so a little bit cheaper than Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And again, the same runs early, mid-November, all the way up until Christmas. So again, you're gonna have unique characters. I think we had like Baloo, if I'm not mistaken, or King Louie. I think it was maybe King Louie that we saw at Jollywood. There were definitely a lot of the after school programming, Saturday morning cartoon, like nostalgia. Oh my gosh, this brings back so many memories. Rescue Rangers, like They were playing Darkwing Duck in the background, which I like totally appreciated being a kid of the 80s and 90s. So I definitely appreciated that nostalgia. They had specialty drinks, especially if you're a pass holder. So again, like I was saying, it is kind of like a more adult date night feel, but kids totally were welcome there and did not feel out of place taking her. And again, we got to ride so many of the rides, which is amazing. So like I said, we've been doing Halloween every year since Lucia was a baby. It was perfect for the toddler years, especially for trick-or-treating. But when we tried Christmas, I was surprised how much I actually loved it, which shouldn't surprise you because if you know me, you know Christmas is my favorite holiday. Better weather, more relaxed, and incredibly magical. All right, let's get into the pros and cons of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Pros: trick-or-treating. Adults can trick-or-treat, kids can trick-or-treat, all is happy, all is well. Costumes for everyone. Normally during a regular day at Magic Kingdom or at the parks, usually you're not allowed to dress up in certain costumes if you're over a certain age. They leave that to the kids because I think they don't want kids to get confused when you're in the park and have people coming up to you thinking you're one of the characters from Disney. So at trick-or-treating, they allow everyone to dress up. I think there are some restrictions, so make sure if you're booking this party to check the website of what's allowed. Be careful with like long dresses because sometimes they don't want them touching the floor because it could become a hazard on the rides. Lots of activities, lots of fun. Cons: the heat. The heat. It is still so hot. Even if you're going in October, it is still hot. You're still gonna have to bring a fan. That's the biggest one, besides obviously pricing. So yeah, the heat definitely is a biggie, and this can make for a long day, especially because usually I think the park usually opens at 3 or 4 and goes until about midnight. And by the time you get back to your resort, it could be like 1 o'clock in the morning or even longer if you're not staying in the Disney bubble. So this can make for an extra long day. Let's get into the Christmas pros and cons. Again, obviously better weather. It's going to be cooler to the point where you're going to have to bring sweater. Sometimes you might get lucky and you won't need to, but I know it did get a little chilly for us at night. Cons: fewer activities and no adult costumes, and it can feel crowded. So if we're gonna do a comparison, the best for toddlers I would say would be Halloween. The best atmosphere, obviously Christmas, because it gets you in the Christmas mood and the Christmas spirit, and everyone is so happy and jolly, and you know. The best weather, again, Christmas. And best interactive fun, I would say Halloween. All right, so my final verdict: if you have little kids, I would lean toward Halloween if you're just gonna pick one. If you want a more magical experience, I would pick Christmas. But honestly, this is such a hard decision. Obviously, like, I loved it so much, so after our last Christmas trip, I booked the bounce back for this. Last year, I booked the bounce back offer for Christmas this year. Just got back from Disney, and I was starting to think how, even though I told myself we were not going to do Halloween this year, I was starting to have a case of the Disney FOMO. So I have August now booked, and tickets are going on sale this week, and I have my $200 plus ready to go to buy my tickets. So because I had major FOMO, now we're doing that too. You can't really go wrong. Both experiences are amazing, and it just depends on what kind of Disney magic you want. So tell me in the comments, are you team Halloween or team Christmas? All right, I think that's gonna about do it for today's video. If you made it this far and we're not already friends, please stick around and subscribe. We share a lot of Disney content on my channel. I have an annual pass and I go to Disney multiple times a year with my little preschooler in tow. We've been taking her for a while, so we love to share our experiences with you and how we make that happen. Give this video a like. It really does help to support the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll see you in the next one or at Disney. Thanks for watching. Bye. I've been all